Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel, and thank you for joining us. In today's video we're showing off the incredible Saint Bavo's Cathedral in Ghent, Belgium. The origins and consecration of the church on this site was in AD 942 to Saint John the Baptist, and interestingly you can still find some traces of the following Romanesque church, which dates to around the mid-12th century, in the crypt that is wonderfully decorated with murals. Whilst we wander the beautiful cathedral, I'm going to try and tell you some of the history that makes this place wonderful in its own right. The city of Ghent was one of the most powerful and wealthy cities in Western Europe during the Middle Ages, and they would always be able to afford bigger and grander churches. An example of this is St John's Church, that was converted in the Gothic style in the 15th and 16th centuries. In the middle of the 16th century, this building still had the appearance that it has today, but other changes were soon to follow. Around 1536, the age-old Saint Bavo's Abbey was dissolved on the orders of Emperor Charles V. The majority of the abbey was demolished after the Ghent uprising in 1540 and was then converted into barracks. Both the abbot and monks of this abbey were now in power and given the title of canon. Their chapter passed to the St John's Church, which was then called Saint Bavo's Church. The Church of Saint Bavo was also the site of the baptism of Charles V. The area that was controlled by the Bishop of Ghent was founded in 1559, and the church became Saint Bavo's Cathedral. Amongst the long line of shepherds, one of those was the 7th bishop, named Antonius Triest, that should be mentioned for his stamp and personality on the cathedral's very rich Baroque interior that we can enjoy today. The transformation took quite some doing, becoming especially tricky when the decision was made to ditch the cathedral's original Roman look and to completely reinvent it in its now Gothic style. Saint Bavo's showpiece is the 24-panel altarpiece, named the Ghent Altarpiece. It is formerly known as the Adoration of the Mystic Lamb by Jan and Hubert van Eyck. This work is now considered Van Eyck's masterpiece and one of the most important works in the early Northern Renaissance, as well as one of the greatest artistic masterpieces of Belgium. Several of the painting's wings were brought in 1816 by the English collector in Berlin named Edward Soley. Later, in 1821, these were brought by the King of Prussia, Frederick William III, and continued to be kept in Germany. During World War I, other panels were taken from the cathedral by German occupation and as part of a signed compensation in the Versailles Treaty. Germany returned the poached panels along with the original panels that had been legitimately bought by Solly to help compensate for the other German acts of destruction during the war. The Germans bitterly resented the loss of the panels, and at the start of World War II with Germany in 1940, a decision was made in Belgium to send the painting to the Vatican to keep it safe. The painting was en route to the Vatican in France when Italy declared war as an Axis ally, alongside Germany. The painting was stored in a museum in Pau in France for the duration of the war. Later, in 1942, Adolf Hitler ordered the painting to be seized and brought to Germany to be stored in a Bavarian castle. After Allied air raids made the castle too dangerous for the painting, it was stored in a salt mine. Belgian and French authorities protested the seizing of the painting, and the head of the German Army's Art Protection Unit was dismissed after he disagreed with the seizure. The altarpiece was one of the countless cultural works stolen by Hitler's army during World War II. All 12 panels and 17 feet of it were taken from the cathedral out of Saint Bavo and dismantled. It was hidden away in the salt mine in Austria. Hitler intended to make a Führer museum where he'd display all of the greatest works of art he could get his hands on, and the altarpiece was subsequently found by the monuments men and ultimately returned to Belgium and its rightful place in the cathedral. Interestingly, not all of the panels made it out of the war. After its trip to the Austrian salt mine and the dramatic rescue, it was discovered that one of the lower left inside panels was missing. The panel featuring the Just Judges worshipping the Lamb was gone, so a replacement had to be commissioned, and to this day that replacement panel is the one you will see when you visit the altarpiece. It begs the question, just where is that missing panel? I'm not able to answer that. It could very much be still in the depths of Austria, decaying on a forgotten roadside somewhere, or hidden away in a private chalet. The imagination runs wild, but this story and crazy journey for the painting itself is so interesting. When visiting the cathedral, it's worth noting that importantly, the back half of the main nave as well as the crypt is now reserved for those with ticketed entrance for the Ghent Altarpiece and augmented reality tour experience. Tickets can be purchased through the church website or at the ticketing booth, while opening hours are 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m, Monday to Saturday, and 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. on a Sunday. We sadly didn't have the time to visit and do the tour as we were too late to go and see it on the Sunday, but we plan on revisiting and definitely experiencing the works of art. While most of the visitors come for the mystic lamb, the cathedral itself is an impressive building that deserves more attention. It is an encompassing structure in downtown Ghent with a spacious and solemn interior. There are other outstanding works of art, including one of the oldest preserved books in Belgium, called the Livinus manuscript, that contains 4 Gospels and dates back to the 8th century. Not only that, but the works of the famous Flemish artist Paul Rubens, which you need to experience and look out for. Around the cathedral you'll find plenty of gorgeous stained glass windows, all depicting stories and religious meanings. Various altarpieces, wood-carved stalls, interesting confessionals, and a grand pulpit which is honestly breathtaking when you stand back and just admire how this was made, and other medieval splendour to marvel at, which makes Saint Bavo's a truly fascinating and thought-provoking place to visit. If you have purchased and are using the Ghent City card, brought from the Ghent tourist office outside of Castle Gravenstein, the De Lin public transport shops, hotels and participating museums, then you are able to get a large discount for the AR experience. Otherwise, an adult ticket will set you back €16. If you just want to experience the cathedral, this is free. Saint Bavo's cathedral is fully accessible, including the crypt and the altarpiece experiences. But please ask the reception team at the entrance of the cathedral for any assistance. So we really hope you've enjoyed our walking tour around Saint Bavo's, and it has given you some inspiration to consider when visiting here when you travel Ghent, or we just hope that you've enjoyed seeing the place through our lens. We want to say a massive thank you to our Patreons and channel members for all of their support. Please remember to hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel for more, or clicking the join button below to become part of the PIM family. So we'll see you in the next one. Till next time.